news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy and smoky good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Smoky, yeah, it is. You know, you take a look outside if you haven't been outside, and you see what looks like mist or maybe some light rain, some strong gusty winds out there, and you say, oh boy, some more rain. Well, it's not raining. We're just looking at some more Canadian smoke. And that's the reason why, for the most part, we're looking at an air quality alert to start off the day here on Tuesday and be around with us for pretty much all of the daylight hours today. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Dent. And John, we did get some precipitation overnight last night in a few spots. I was surprised.
Yeah, into the afternoon and kind of the evening hours last night, and it was nice to see a little bit. Did we get much in the way of like measurable precipitation?
Well, I'm looking at a few locations, and I'm hearing some amounts of close to 0.4 of an inch in some spots.
Not too bad.
The Bay City area, they picked up anywhere from 1/3 of an inch to almost 1/2 inch in a few spots there. Out at the airport, MBS, 0.4 of an inch officially. Pontiac down in southeast Michigan, better than 1/2 inch. Detroit picked up just under 0.9 of an inch. Ann Arbor looking at right around 0.8 of an inch. Saginaw County, we've got reports of anywhere from a trace to 0.4. Bad Axe up in Huron County only picked up about 1/10 of an inch. Fillion, not even that. So Huron County, again, coming up on the short end of the stick when it comes to precipitation. As a matter of fact, over the past few days, they really haven't picked up a lot of rain, where many other locations in the Lower Peninsula, especially the eastern half of the Lower Peninsula, have picked up a nice measurable amount of rain. Carroll, over in Tuscola County, 0.4 of an inch in the last 24 hours. Cass City, 1/4 of an inch. Vassar picking up better than 0.6 of an inch of rain. Down in Shiawassee County, 0.6 to 0.8 of an inch. Very common. Owasso just under 0.8. Duran looking at 2/3 of an inch there. Genesee County, we're looking at 1/2 inch, upwards of 3/4 of an inch from all of the different reporting stations. Lapeer looking at right around 0.7 of an inch. Down in Oakland County, Farmington, 3/4 of an inch there. Ann Arbor, a couple different locations, anywhere from 0.7 to 0.9 of an inch. Manchester, just under 1/2 inch. Saline, a little bit better than 5, almost 0.6 of an inch. The Dearborn area picking up about 3-4 of an inch there. And Wyandotte, a few other areas in the suburbs of Detroit picking up over 3/4 of an inch. Dundee, just under 0.4. Then you move across the upper peninsula, or I should say northern parts of the Lower Peninsula. Atlanta, 0.6 of an inch. Cadillac, just barely a trace, where they had picked up almost 3 inches the other day. Sheboygan, less than 1/10 of an inch. Looking at East Tawas, just under 1/10 of an inch. The Gaylord area, where they had almost 4 inches, they picked up an additional 1/3 of an inch. Gladwin, just under 1/2 inch. The Mayo area, about 0.9 of an inch of rain there. Standish, a little bit better than a trace, 5/100 of an inch. West Branch, they had just under 1/2 inch there. Elger looking at about 1/3 of an inch. Roscommon, just under 3/4 of an inch. So you kind of get the idea. It's all over the place. Houghton Lake had 1/2 inch of rain to report. And as we go through the day today, we're not really anticipating any rain at all. We're just looking at some wind, and we're looking at smoke. And we are looking for everything to kind of clear off as we go into the later afternoon hours. Right now, temperature-wise, what are we looking at, John?
Well, temperature-wise, out at the airport, 65 degrees. Downtown Midlands at 64. Here at Radio Center, also 65 degrees, so a little bit cooler than we have been seeing. Winds out of the north at 12 miles per hour. Something interesting on the remarks here, though. It's saying that it's fog. I don't think it's fog.
No, it's not. Just walk out. Fog don't smell.
Fog doesn't smell like that.
Like
no.
frying maple syrup. I'm sorry.
Barometric pressure right now is at 29.75, holding steady.
Yeah. Burnt pancakes. That's kind of what it smells like out there. 72 degrees. That's our projected high. We're going to need the sun to get there. I think we will. The main reason why I'm a little optimistic is because the low that's causing all of this, actually there's two. The low over Lake Ontario, and it's a big one. I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's been around. And then we have a high pressure system from the Dakotas moving into Minnesota. So the two working together right now is the reason why this huge draft of smoke is running down over the state, some portions of the Upper Peninsula, literally all of the Lower Peninsula. Now that low is going to be moving away from us here as we go through the afternoon hours. The high is going to be taking over. The high is drafting more air from directly north of us and a little bit to the northwest of us. So that, in effect, is what's going to cause the air to kind of clear off just a little bit. We're not going to get that direct draft of smoke like we're getting right now. So as that high approaches, it's going to be sinking, moving to the south, and then eventually looping under the Lower Peninsula. So eventually what we're going to have is the clearing skies. It is going to get cooler. Again, colder air from Canada, 55 for a low tonight, where we only dropped down into that low to mid 60 range overnight last night. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer, approaching 80. That high is going to be over Indiana and then moving into southern Ohio. So that is going to generate a little bit more of a southerly, maybe a little southeast, southwest wind as we go through the day tomorrow. 58 for a low tomorrow night after that high of right around 80. Then on Thursday, warmer still, 85, sun, clouds. There will be a chance late in the day on Thursday night, of some scattered shower activity. Again, no organized front system moving through. This is all scattered stuff. 85 for a high on Thursday, 64 for a low Thursday night. Then on Friday, more of the same. 85 for a high, 62 for a low on Friday night. Again, partly cloudy skies, scattered shower activity on Friday, Saturday, and then all of that moves out as we move into the day on Sunday. Now, our temperatures are going to be running in the low to mid 80s once we get past tomorrow, moving into Thursday, and it's going to stay that way right into the 4th of July, because Monday we're looking at temperatures in the 87 to 88 degree area the Monday before July the 4th. Now, we've talked about and will continue to talk about the heat that's down south, because it definitely is affecting our commodity prices. What we're looking at is high temperatures in the 100-degree range with heat indices of 110 and more, all the way from Flagstaff, Arizona, now moving into and around Pensacola, Florida, and moving as far north, which is what we haven't talked about in the past. But because that high, remember, it's going to be looping down under Michigan, begin to draft some of that much warmer air up into the Tennessee and the Ohio River Basin. Carbondale, Illinois will have a heat index here over the next maybe 2-3 days of over 100 degrees. And southern Indiana, Evansville, some of you are probably well aware of that city. They're going to be looking at heat indices well in the upper 90s. And Memphis, Tennessee, the last time I took a look there, their temperature tomorrow, well, I should say today, Memphis, Tennessee, 93, tomorrow, 93, Thursday, 101.
And that's without heat index.
That's no heat index.
Just temperature.
That is on the old thermometer.
Wow.
So that high pressure system is going to clear our skies, but it's going to generate more heat. And that's why the 6 to 10 day outlook is for temperatures to be running above average and the precipitation values at or slightly below normal for this time of the year. So yes, it is going to have an effect as far as our markets go as we go through the next few days. More on the weather as we go through. Incidentally, sunset tonight at 6:22, sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:58. The record amount of precipitation on this date, June the 27th, a little bit better than 2.6 inches of rain set in 2008. And the record high in this state, 1933, the decade of the drought, and tied in 1971. A year ago, our high was 71, our low was 55. So we're pretty close to where we are today. More on the weather. Who's standing by today?
We'll be heading over to the Andersons. We'll talk with Melinda Sweeney today. Then for a little bit more information on the markets, we'll head over to Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. All of that's ahead, but first, the weather report today has been brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment, where we talk about the Farmall tractor every time we talk about Weiss Equipment, because knowing how to get the job done right starts with contacting the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth and choosing the right Farmall tractor, because the name says it all, Farmall. That's what it does. They carry a wide range of Case IH Compact Farmall Series tractors, so you're going to find the right fit for your operation. The Value Pack Compact Farmall A all the way to the Deluxe Compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. Remember, the tractor does it all. So no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red. Farmall. Find out more and see them on display at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Melinda Sweeney. How are we doing today, Melinda?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Chicago, are they having a good day or are they having a bad?
Not a good day. We're down sharply lower in corn today. We're down 27 cents. Nearby is only down 8 against the July, but Sep and new crop are down 27. Beans nearby were down 19, and no beans are down 31. And nearby wheat were down 36 cents.
Yeah, I saw wheat really took it in the chin here so far this morning. Any particular reason why, Melinda? Is it the rain in the forecast?
I would say it's that. Corn's sharply lower this morning despite yesterday's crop conditions report. We're down 5% good to excellence this week, now sitting at 50% on corn, and we're 4% silking with corn, which is in trend with the 5-year average. Rain forecasts overnight, I feel like, have changed significantly for southeast Nebraska, southern Iowa, southern Illinois, the Corn Belt. I think a lot of people are confident we're going to get that moisture. If we get it and if it happens are two very different things. The June acreage report comes out Friday at noon, so we'll have our second crack at acreage and quarter stocks and production number. What will our ending stocks be for 23-24? So that comes out on Friday. For beans, it's a little different tune with soybean meal and soybeans and oil are all down sharply this morning as well. Soybeans ratings actually fell 3% and they're good to excellent standings to 51%. Lowest rating for this time of the year since 1988. And it doesn't seem like the market today is really reacting to that. It looks like from a wheat, corn, and bean standpoint, it's all traded and focused on U.S. weather, even with the little bit of the coup action we saw in Russia and a lot of people not sure if Russia will extend the Black Sea deal. Focus is still on U.S. weather, taking us down sharply this morning.
So right now on the board, what do you have?
Yeah, right now nearby corn we're at $5.96. New crop corn $5. January corn $5.24. Nearby soybeans $14.16. New crop beans $12.30. January beans $12.59. New crop red wheat $6.15. New crop white wheat $6.85.
You take care, Melinda. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
You're welcome.
You bet. Melinda Sweeney over at Star of the West. Who's up next, Jonathan?
That's Melinda Sweeney with the Andersons.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Just make sure we get that right.
They all blend together
I know,
after a while.
Where you say good morning to Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. Doug, how are we doing today?
Well, grains are the driver today, down big time. I think the weather tripped the trips, and then the billionaires piled in, and how they do pile on top of each other and just keep moving in the same direction until there's no direction left. So, yeah, they're the big drivers today. I saw a couple of things that were interesting, though, yesterday. One was that rent cost was going down. And that's the first time that's happened in a couple of years. So that's interesting. I'm wondering if the Fed's going to, consider that when they do their interest rate hike next time. And the other thing I saw was Dodge was offering trucks at 10% under MSRP and on some vehicles. And that's the first time that's happened in a long time. A lot of times we were seeing MSRP plus on these, even though, the prices are 20 or 30% higher, so they got some wiggle room to come down. So who knows on that one, but I thought that was kind of interesting. And then Lordstown declared bankruptcy today. So that was the electric vehicle maker down in Lordstown, Ohio. I don't know how you get a multi-$100-million plant and still end up, for free, basically got it from General Motors, who got it from the government, taxpayers, but whatever. And so that's bankrupt, and Foxconn pulled their financing out of the deal, so they basically send them into bankruptcy when they did that. So, but anyway, that's what's going on. And again, it's the grains that are driving lower today, and it's not really the dollar moving them. It's weather and momentum, and it's a fast world out there. So here's your numbers. July corn is 628 3/4, down 8.5. December corn 562, down 26 1/4. The July soybeans 1503, down 18. November soybeans 1292.5, down 30.5. The July wheat is 687 3/4, down 36.5, and December wheat 719 3/4, that is down 37. Crude oil 68.59, down 78 cents. Heating oil is 240.52, that's down 0.7 of a penny. Gasoline is 245.50, that's up 0.02 of a penny. And natural gas is 283.5, that's down 3 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. US dollar buys $1.3173 Canadian, that's up 20 ticks. The dollar buys 143.96 yen, that's up 46 ticks. The euro's at 109.58, up 54 ticks. The dollar's at 102.45, down 24 ticks. Gold is at $1924.50, down $9.30. Silver's $22.96, up 14 cents. Platinum's at $924.90. It's down $3.70.
All righty, Doug, you take care. All righty?
Okay. You too.
Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Well, I got that right, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, we say it every day. So.
We're trying to do too many things here all at once. This is an absolutely crazy Tuesday. It must be the Canadian smoke.
It must be.
Yeah, the market report brought to you by the folks at Krijak's House Family Restaurant. You got an event coming up and you need to supply the food, not a problem. 989-894-5531. They'll take care of it for you. All you got to do is you tell them what you want, stop by, pick it up, and you will be a hero at your event. Great place to dine in as well. Take a load off who's ever working in the kitchen. Krijak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Also by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, those resistant weeds that Vic has been telling a lot of folks about. they're growing out there. Of course, the plants are too, but you don't want those weeds to take over. You do need to keep a lid on those, and they can do it. They've got the 2 sprayer trucks ready to take care of whatever you need to not only kill the weeds, but also side dress on the corn or with dry or liquid. They can take care of it for you. Any answers to questions you might have, get a hold of Vic today at Freeland Bean and Grain. Since 1983, where serving you is their business. We're going to take a quick break, and then who have we got on deck?
We'll be talking with Jerry Samolsky from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville after this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy, real easy. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Let's check in, Jonathan, with Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. And Jerry had a question yesterday from a listener. They wanted to make sure that the killer that we're supposed to be putting on the grass, the crab stuff, what are we using?
For crabgrass right now, you'd want to use, product with quinclorac in it. So sometimes you have to be a little bit more insightful and not read the name kills crabgrass or whatever. You got to look down to the active ingredient, and you want quinclorac. And so bring your glasses. It's very small print on the front label. So Terry, it's a lot like, when you buy Motrin or you buy Advil, they're the same thing. You're actually buying ibuprofen. We kind of know that in some parts of our world, but we got to get the same way when we start using pesticides and understanding what it is we're putting down. So quinclorac for crabgrass. And then right now, if we're putting down that grub control, that now is the time for grub control, we want to use imidacloprid. And so that's that season-long grub control. What that's going to do is get the babies as they begin to hatch out of their eggs. They'll start feeding on your grass roots. You're going to kill them off, and then you won't have any grubs for the rest of the year because grubs do not. How far do you think a grub will, crawl in its life as a grub for 10 months? Maybe 2 feet, 3 feet. So if you kill them all in babies in your yard, they're not going to come for your neighbors. You got grub control for a year.
There you go. Jerry, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. All righty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Along with us now, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, with the holiday coming up here, my guess is we should talk a little bit about trailers.
Yeah, good morning, Terry and Jonathan. We probably talked about this, maybe a month or so ago before Memorial Day weekend, but I think it bears repeating coming up on the 4th here, which just next week, all the trailers that are going to be more than likely headed north. Most of those are going to be have to be added to your policy to have the coverage they need. There's a few trailers, they're very small, that get liability only from the vehicle towing them. But anything with 2 axles or bigger and that has a GVW of more than 2,000 pounds, you want to add that to your policy so that if it comes on hooks and causes an accident, your policy has the liability coverage to protect you. And if you want physical coverage on it, you can also add that as well.
Yeah, that could be a real mess. Craig, you take care. We'll talk to you again. All righty?
Yes, sir. We'll talk about what's on the trailer next time.
Hey, there you go. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Let's find out what's going on in New York. Steve Anderson joining us. Jonathan?
Yes, indeed. Steve, good morning.
And good morning, gentlemen.
What do we have, Steve?
Right now, Terry, we've got some green showing. We got the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 159, putting it at 33,874. Volume there is 255 million shares. The NASDAQ is ahead by 134, putting it at 13,470. Volume 379 million shares. Locally, Caterpillar 239.46, up 251. Deere 407.67, down 252. CMS 59.85, up 26. Dow 52.35, up 40. DuPont 68.40, up 60. Corteva is 56.94, down 106. GM 37.08, up 38. Trinzio 12.43, down 3. Walmart 154.53, down 52. Huntington Bank 10.49, up 14. Independent Bank 17.44, up a penny, and AT&T is up 13 cents at 15.76.
You have a great day, Steve.
I shall. You do the same.
Will do. Steve Anderson over at Baird and Company. Jonathan, looks like our good to excellent category on all of our crops kind of deteriorated just a little bit. We'll talk more about that tomorrow during the program. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. The U.S. Supreme Court pushed